enough for 40 odd something hours. The sweat on my back's got my shirt soaked and sour. And oh, it's already gone. Second night's coming and I'm spinning back around. We're all caught up, can't hear or feel the sound. And oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, this life's too short to be worrying about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. Got time but money's not something that's free. Since the roll of the dice never rolls back to me. And oh, it's already gone. A bird in my hand, two cans in the other, start spinning around. Now here comes another, and oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, this life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. And all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, this life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Whoa, it's already gone. Already gone. It's already gone. Go.
What is up, Jags fans? We are here on a Tuesday night, regularly timed schedule, 9 p.m. for the Jaguars United live show. We are coming off of a massive 27-24 win. Took us to overtime. You guys thought we were going to lose. You guys lost faith for a second, but the Jaguars pulled it out. And here we are, sitting now at 7-4, within striking distance of the AFC South. I'm super excited because tonight I have a lot of clips loaded up. There's good, there's bad, and there's some ugly. But as we do always, we break down the film like coaches would in a coach's film room. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to take the look at it objectively, who did well, who has room for improvement. Some of you got that on your report cards in elementary school. You got the room for improvement. I know for me, it was behavior. I was a little chatty when I was a kid. I like to talk. I know that's hard for you guys to believe, but I like to talk in elementary school. So I had some in conduct. I had room for improvement. But that's okay. There are some people that need room for improvement. We're going to get to all things. I have a lot of clips. I'm off work tomorrow. I'm actually golfing tomorrow. It's a good night. This show may be 4 hours long. It may be just we may just not sleep. we may just talk Jags until my tea time at 10 a.m. We may do that. So buckle up. This is a fan show. So get into the comments. I try to hit as many comments as I can. On the film breakdowns, I miss a lot because I'm showing clips of games and the game film. So if I miss it, just type it again. Make sure while you're here to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow my Twitter and Instagram account. You guys got to forgive me for my tweets during the game. Listen, when I tweet during the game, I get a little unhinged and I say things like, quote, imagine if we had Jacoby Brissett, end quote. Obviously, I don't mean that. Okay. Obviously, I get wrapped up in the moment, right? My emotions live play to play. So you got to forgive me. But for the other times, it's usually pretty good. This is a fan show, so we do always try to hit the first one in the chat. Mr. Know-It-All is here. Just said, just look me in my eye. You can tell me I'm Duval till I die. That sounds like a song, like the last line of a chorus of a song about the Jaguars. That's what that sounds like. I'll let one of you guys write the song, but that sounds like a good line in a song there. He goes on to say, I usually don't rewatch games. I rewatched this one, though, and it seemed the Cardinals was giving the game away. It was weird because there were stretches where our defense kind of carried. There were stretches where our offense carried. So it was crazy. Like, I feel like when I show these clips, I'm going to try to remember, like, when it was clipped because there was, again, times when, like, the offense was, like, moving. And there was times when the offense wasn't. There was times when the defense was stifling and times they weren't. So interesting to see that. Devin Folston says, what's up? Coach got to start taking the points before he gives fans a heart attack. Folston is referencing when Liam Cohen went for it on fourth down and did not take the field goal, which would have put us up by 6 at the end and allowed the Cardinals to kick a field goal to take us to overtime. It's one of those things where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And if it works out, you're a genius. If it doesn't, you're an idiot. I've been back and forth on this because I'm pretty vocal about the fact that, like, I take the points. I think analytics have kind of ruined a little bit of that part of the game. But at the same time, if we're going to ride or die with Liam Cohen, seems like he's doing everything else correctly. I like what he's doing. So I'm going to ride or die with them. A few more comments, then we're going to get into the film. X Lug says, Trevor Lawrence is a drug. I just can't quit. That's a good point. Trevor Lawrence went, I got the stats right here, 18 for 30, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3 sacks. At least he broke the 250 mark passing. I feel like he never does that ever. So, Trev 30. Trevor Lawrence to the Rams when Matt Stafford is on the door of retirement, which isn't too far from now. Okay. Let's freaking go. Trevor played bad, but he's playing great in crunch time. I also think 2 of his turnovers weren't on him, but he obviously needs to play better. Fenton Law. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know if I can say that too much, but that's pretty good. Or Trevor to Atlanta, flip for Bijan Robinson in a third. We're good at running back. We are absolutely good at running back. I think my first clips I'm going to show are Travis Etienne. I think Travis Etienne has been an absolute dog for us. You know, let's get into the clip. You know, people aren't here to watch me talk. All right, let's get into some clips here. I need to set this up. That was a major oversight. I got to be able to share the screen so that you guys can see what I'm going to show. Let's see here. We'll start with this one. Let me get it where y'all can see here. Rookie error. Don't mind me. All right. So I just love Etienne. I love Etienne. Did I come into the season loving Etienne? No. Do I love him now? Yes. Okay, I'm a fan. I'm allowed to feel that way. I'm not going to tell y'all how to feel. So don't judge me. But love the way Etienne's been playing this year. In my opinion, he's the MVP. However, again, like Devin Lloyd, Brenton Strange have missed a bunch of time, and they've kind of been picking it up even when they're back from injury. So had those 2 guys been playing all year, would they be my MVP? Maybe. But as of right now, my MVP is Travis Etienne. Ace formation. Trevor Lawrence under center, a little pre-snap motion. They're going to trick him out here. We're in 2 tight end sets. All right, so we are in ace 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. We got Johnny Munt on the weak side. We got Quentin Morris, my boy, on the. I feel like if you're a fan of this show, we might have been the first ones to recognize Quentin Morris. And those of you that were here for that show, we were one of the first ones here. I don't know why I drew an arrow there because I don't necessarily think that's where he goes. That's okay. I love what everyone does on this play. You got Cole Van Lannon in at right tackle. You got Patrick McCarry in at right guard. Obviously, you got Hainsey, you got Ezra, who's been playing really well, and we got our favorite son, Walker Little. This is Johnny Munt and Quentin Morris. I mean, this is a run blocker's dream 7. And the insanely undervalued wide receiver blocker, Jacoby Myers. I think he's an outstanding blocker for a wide receiver. Watch this play. Bam. Oh, yeah. Hat on a hat football, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Parker down the field doing the one. I mean, this is just beautiful blocking. I mean, just the down blocks. He gets upfield. They go down, 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 down. I mean, this is just, I'm sorry. They go the other way. Down, 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 down. It's just great down blocking. I love this. Easy hole, double team the D tackle, pushes McCarry pushes Calais Campbell out of the club, opens up the A gap wide open. Then Jacoby Myers and Johnny Munt are going to take care of the next level. This is just blocking 101. Cole Van Lannon with a great block here on Josh Sweat. You got a double team on the end. The backside contained backer is going to be lost because it's going to the oppo side A gap. Let's go. Look at Etienne, like, hold on to that football. He fumbled in Miami. He said, never again. Never again. Let's go, Etienne. Let's freaking go. How about this one from Etienne? Now we're in a pistol set. This is what I'm saying. The formations are wild. We're in a pistol set here. 2 tight end pistol set. All right. I don't know what you guys want to call this. I don't know. Pistol ace because you have 2 tight ends, twins left. Maybe. I don't know what they call it. You got Brenton Strange out here. You got Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington. What you're going to see here is a little levels concept in which you're actually going to see like Brenton Strange be like wide open, but it's okay because we still score, so it doesn't matter. See, that's what about Brenton Strange. It's like the dude's going to be wide open on this out route. You know, this maybe like, 7-8 yard out route. P. Watts is going to run him out. Jacoby Myers is going to run him out. And then this is the smart throw. When you talk about Trevor making the smart throw, this is it. Makes the smart throw right here. And then Brenton Strange, although he's wide open, as soon as he sees the ball thrown to Etienne, he's going to just turn upfield and block. I love Brenton Strange. I love Travis Etienne. These are my 2 favorite guys right now. Tutty. Easy Tutty. Easy freaking Tutty. All right. Obviously, we're really backed up in comments. Like I said, I'm sorry. We're going to randomly pick one, and we're going to pick Kyle, who says, yo. What up, Kyle? -KP7NC. Do a call-in. This show would be 10 hours long if I did a call-in. But you know what? Maybe I will do a call-in. Like I said, I'm off this week. I'm doing Club Jaguar tomorrow with Jordan and Dalton. Thursday's Thanksgiving. Friday, there's football on. Maybe Friday night. It's the first Friday night I've had off in a while. So maybe we do it then. Yeah, that's a good one. Fenton Law. All right, let's scroll down. Let's go random. Oh, UCF Jaguars. And okay. I didn't realize letting it rip meant throwing interceptions 5 yards down the field. Well, UCF, that's exactly what it means. That's like when I heard the let it rip strategy, I was like, Best case scenario, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, right? Wouldn't that be when you tell Trevor Lawrence to let it rip? Wouldn't you be like, all right, best case scenario, 3 interceptions, but also 3 touchdowns? I feel like he hasn't thrown for over 250 yards like in a long ass time, and he did. So I hate when people point out 2 or 3 good passes he had in the game. He's in the NFL. All of those quarterbacks can do it. Good point, Long John. However, this would be my counterpoint to the Trevor haters. And let me just take for a second and realize I have been harder on Trevor than probably anybody. But did some soul searching, did some thinking, and I'm the first one to talk about how you can look at any metric and analytics from drop passes to adjusted quarterback percentage to EPA. There's all kind of like analytics you can look at. At the end of the day, when you're evaluating a quarterback, isn't the only thing you care about wins? Right? Like, isn't that the only thing you care about? Like, again, Trevor Lawrence has thrown more interceptions when leading than from behind. And when they're behind and they need to drive, he's in clutch, right? Like, I think wins are more important than anything else. And we're 7-4. So, yes, the defense bailed us out. Yes, the running game has bailed us out. Am I saying he's worth his contract? I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, I think we all would agree I would take 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions if it meant a win. Now, obviously, the rabbit hole thought, devil's advocate is like, well, when you play a good team, that won't cut it. Correct, which is why I say wins are the most important thing. But if you're going to take that same mentality, then Lamar Jackson is a bad quarterback because he's got great stats, but he can't beat good teams at the end. So that's why my end-all be-all is wins. Win the game. Don't care how you get there. Don't care when you go off. Don't care if you have a stupid bonehead interception. You could even argue that 2 of them, one was tipped. You know, you even argue that some of them weren't all his fault. But I do have some throws loaded up where he actually makes some pretty good throws. Even with a win, our fans still find a way to be negative. Best halfback in the league. We spammed 12 on offense. I like that. Listen, let's do it. 2 tight ends. Let's go. UCF gets it, says Social Alki. Earn the picks. Throw downfield 5 to 6 times a game, regardless of the outcome. My friend said, who is that beast blocking? LOL. Yeah, Brendan Strange. The Niners game had 4 turnovers last night in the first half. Raiden Shogum says, hello. What's up, Pokey? Raiden's on Twitch at Pokey443. I've experienced too many losses with worse quarterbacks as a Jags fan to hate on Trevor. Yeah. I don't know how this looks. Let's see how this looks. It doesn't look good. I wish I could. Okay. I'm going to drawing arrows to this comment, Trev. Outstanding comment. Absolutely outstanding comment. All right, we're scrolling down. Dad? Like I always say, I hope not. I hope not. So Cole to left tackle when Anton is back, says Robert. Wouldn't hate it. Would not hate it. Brenton Strange for real. T-Law is my quarterback. Fan base has Trevor Lawrence derangement syndrome. TLDS. Trevor needs to get back to the Trevor in 2022 when he said something flipped in him after the loss to the Russell Wilson-led Broncos in London. I like it. It's more about the timing of the interceptions than the number. T-Law leads game-winning scoring drives when it counts. He's a good quarterback if you don't play fantasy football, says Devin. Every drive counts in this league, says Cash Shoots. Didn't Anton play left tackle in college? I believe he did. Okay. He doesn't. He doesn't actually. Like, I give him crap for it, but listen, he's what, like, think about it this way. think about like a prosecuting or defense attorney. Everything they're going to say is going to be an advocate of that person, but they bring supporting evidence and facts. So you can't really hate on him because at every point he makes, he brings strong supporting evidence. So it's hard for me to hate on Jordan for that. It really is, because he'll say something, bring up supporting evidence, and he has done his research. He's done a deep dive, and he kind of leaves me like, all right, he could be right. He could be right. I've never had jury duty, and thank God I won it. But all right, let's take a look at some other. And while we're talking about Brenton Strange, let's do some Brenton Strange love here. All right, Brenton Strange. This is another like someone just said, they spam 12 personnel. So if you know 12 personnel is 1 running back, 2 tight ends. That's not a tight end, but that is tight end. That's not a tight end either. That's a tight end right there. Okay, so 2 tight ends right here. All right, so Brenton Strange is going to make the catch on this play. I think this was the first Brenton Strange catch of the game. There's that deep. I mean, that's the same exact play we just saw, is it not? Like it's a little different, right? It's a little different. The ETN touchdown, like they flare the tight end to the flat. They send the wide receiver 1 vertical, and they send Brenton Strange on an out. Like it's the exact same play. We call this a bench concept, right? A bench concept. So you can say this to your friends and sound really smart. When you have an out and a vertical, they call it a bench. So if you think about it, look at it. It's like a bench. This is me sitting on the bench with my hands. I have a little bit of hair. I have a little bit of comb over. I have, so it's a bench concept. So you're going to see the bench concept here by Brenton Strange. There you go. And basically what you're doing is you're making the flat defender. This is the flat defender, meaning you have to play the flats, which is the sidelines. You're making him pick. Am I going to carry this deep out, or am I going to shoot up on the swing route or the flare route? And he picks the flare out. And so Trevor does a great job of identifying that. Again, give Trevor credit here. Great throw. In the end zone, too. Not bad. Not bad, if you ask me. All right, we're gonna go with, man. There's Trevor. I got a lot of good plays from Trevor. I'm gonna save the Trevor plays. I'm gonna save the Trevor plays for a second. All right, here's a play. It's kind of random. Doesn't really fit with anything. I loved this play. I know it didn't result in what like Liam Cohen had in his mind it was going to be, but I loved this play so much. I mean, thank you. I have just been void of this type of play for so long as a Jags fan. Give the Cardinals credit. They did a great job defending it, but I just love the ingenuity. I love the creativeness here. Like one thing, like we've given the offensive line a lot of crap for penalties and the whole team crap for penalties. But on this play, it is really hard to not have an illegal man downfield. Okay, it's really, really hard. And so to be able to perform this play, to make it seem like a run play and still pass protect, like that's pretty tough to do. And the Jags O-line does a good job not getting downfield here. So give credit where credit is due. That's what we do. Let's see here. What else we got? Hit the like button. Let's not get into that. But V-Man, I'm glad you're here. Defense attorneys are just professional glazers. Oh, okay. Now that argument I could listen to. That argument I could actually listen to. I loved this play. Yep. Let it rip means just win. The Niners game had 4. Wait, did I read that one already? Looks more like a chair. It's a bench. A chair is a bench, right? What's the difference between a chair and a bench? A bench, multiple people can sit on it. A chair, one person. Is that the difference? Okay. Not going to lie, or I'm not going to sit here and defend Trevor a bunch. He has screw-ups, and a lot of people are sick of those screw-ups. I won't just straight up give up on him. We all sit here and praise Bortles. He was mid. There's a lot of things I agree with in this statement, Steppen. There's a lot. Hard for me to disagree with a lot of what you're saying here. I actually agree with you. I'm not going to sit here and defend Trevor a bunch. He does have screw ups. People are sick of the screw ups, but I'm also not going to straight give up on him. We're on the same page, and I feel like most level-headed Jags fans are with you. Where I disagree with you is I will sit here and praise Bortles. He was mid. He was mid as a what? He was mid as a purebred quarterback passer. Okay, I'll give you that. Dude won games, bro. Hey, people forget how mobile Blake Bortles was. People forget about his grit getting into the end zone, making the touchdown pass when it mattered. He was carried by his defense. Okay, cool. A lot of good defenses out there don't make it to the AFC Championship game. Steppen, I was with you till the end. That was designed for it. How would you feel on drafting a quarterback with a pick that we get from trading BTJ? I don't know if I would trade BTJ quite yet, but I'm not getting on BTJ either. I think BTJ could carve out a great role with the emergence of Parker Washington and Brenton Strange. I think if you do mix in Travis Hunter and BTJ, you do have a dangerous receiving core, and you do have to count on injuries. There's going to be injuries. We see it now with Travis Hunter. We saw it with Brenton Strange. We see it with BTJ. There's going to be injuries, so you have to be deep. So I think BTJ is a fine wide receiver. I don't think the trade value at this point is going to warrant getting rid of him. I think he has incredible value for what you would get. What would you get? What would you trade him for? A third or a fourth? I think he's more valuable to this team than a third or a fourth, especially his big playability down the field and being on a rookie contract. Now, would I draft a quarterback with a mid pick? Yes, I would. I would, because I don't want Nick Mullins ever in the game. And I think there could be times when Trevor has terrible games potentially where you want to bring in the backup. But I mean, look at first round quarterbacks all throughout the league are doing terrible. Look at JJ McCarthy. I mean, look at these guys. I mean, they're just you never know. Just because they are drafted high doesn't mean they're going to be good. Trevor has his first 5 years has led this team in a sense to 3-5. The bench is wider. It's true. It's a good point. That's a good point. Can you explain the last Brissett throw? Why did he throw it? I have it clipped. Okay, fine. You want to know? This is why. Why did he throw it? Let's see. And I did clip this play specifically for a reason, actually, because I'm not saying Dewey Wingard is outstanding, but he gets a lot of hate, and he made an incredible play on this play. This is the last play of the game from Jacoby Brissett. We'll play it out, then we'll play it back through. Now, it was 4th down, so he had to throw it. It was 4th and short. I don't see any of the first down markers, but I could be blind. But check this out. Okay. Trey McBride has 4th and short. Trey McBride has just been killing us all game. Okay. Dewey Wingard, I don't know if he's in a 2 high look, but he's definitely not in a 1 high look. So what I mean by that is he's not responsible for deep middle of the field. He's not. Ray Lane, if they are in 1 high, is responsible for the middle of the field. Ray Lane is going to just jump this Trey McBride route. Now, here's the thing. Let's not get too down on Ray Lane, because there's a chance that Campanile told him we're double teaming Trey McBride. The ball is going to Trey McBride. So before you get all over Ray Lane for jumping this route, he could have been told to double team Trey McBride. Okay. So what you're going to see here is Trey McBride run a dig, which would have given him the first down. And you're going to see this one receiver run a deep post. Now, obviously, Ray Lane, if he's middle of the field, needs to sit back on this deep post. But McBride's been killing them all game. So he jumps this route here. I'll let it play out. So you can see Ray Lane taking a look at what's happening here. He's got his eyes on the 1 and 2 receivers to the right. Looks like they're in cover 2. Dewey's looking for work. He's got his eyes kind of here, watching the quarterback here. So watch Ray Lane jump this route. Now Ray Lane has jumped the route. I don't know if he's trying to read the eyes, but he jumped the route here on Trey McBride. He's bracketed with a linebacker and a DB. And what this is going to expose is a post route just wide open. This is not good for the Jags. This is probably why Jacoby Brissett threw the ball. Is because he saw the safety, Ray Lane, bite this route, and he goes, I got one-on-one inside leverage on a post route. This is your golden ticket in this situation. So Brissett makes a play. What Jacoby Brissett did not realize was that Andrew Wingard is a dog, and he can get to the middle of the field from here. Watch this. Boo! Like, I'm not saying that would have been a catch if he wasn't there. I'm not saying that. But he sure as heck was a part of that PBU. All I'm saying. Listen, not saying Andrew Wingard is the end-all be-all. Not saying that. But if you're going to criticize him, he made up for a Ray Lane's mistake on that play. Because you can tell, by the way, that he played this post-snap. Like, watch it right here. Like, where he's at on the field, he is not responsible for middle of the field. He's not your middle of the field cover 3, cover 1 safety. He's not. He's just a cover 2. He's got half the field. Ray Lane's got half the field. This is it. Ray Lane bites on Trey McBride. Dewey makes up for Ray Lane's mistake. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Can we add Tim Patrick to the bloopers reel? Oh, he had like one really good catch that got called back because of like a holding or illegal shift or something like that. But I like Tim Patrick. Carried by his defense and running game, talking about Blake Bortles. BTJ him, what quarterback in this draft is crazy good or might even be considered good? All the quarterbacks that are in this draft, in a sense, are not better. He showed man-to-man and dropped the zone, so we thought it was open. Keep winning. He effed up on some of the drives, and he was driving the ball before he effed up. Matthew Stafford, year 5, had 19 interceptions. Be patient. Gunslingers need time. I say we re-sign Jacoby, AJ Epineza, John Franklin, Myers, Nakobe Dean, Brian Cook, and trade BTJ in a 3rd rounder pre-June for a 1st rounder, which we can use to get a quarterback. Then we trade Trev post-June. That would be some what we'd call some Madden shit. That's what we would say. Not saying you're wrong, but you don't typically see that type of thing happen, but maybe. Good coverage by Braswell, too. I'm just glad the Cardinals missed that chip shot field goal before halftime. Good point. Good point. Trevor will always be inconsistent. That'll never change, but he gets it done when things get rough due to his own mistakes. So it's kind of like a procrastinator. It's like a successful procrastinator. You put everything off to the last minute. That's on you, but then you come through. Ray Lane, the Quinn Allen, close to the best late round picks ever. Monteric Brown was also a late round pick, and I think he's outplaying both those guys. But I see your point. Unfortunately for this comment, and I agree with you, I like both of them, especially LaQuint Allen. I thought LaQuint Allen and Ray Lane actually had bad games against the Cardinals. But rest of the season, though, I'm with you. It's just bad timing, Jacob, because I thought this was the worst pass blocking game I've seen out of LaQuint Allen. I got some sacks loaded up here that LaQuint Allen just blocked the wrong guy. And Ray Lane on that play obviously almost cost the Jags the game. So, not going to lie, I think Lane was told to jump McBride because of how Dewey reacted to the post route. I agree, Zach. I think he could have been told to jump McBride. I do agree with you. But where he's at when the ball is thrown leads me to believe that, I mean, look at this again, dude. Like, look where Dewey is when the ball is thrown. Okay, so ball is thrown. Ball's thrown. Like, Jacoby's about to release the ball, and Wingard's on the numbers. If this is a skinny post, it might be a touchdown. But because it's a post, Dewey gets there. You could be right though. I mean, we're our margins are very slim with this. I don't know. I feel like Dewey being on the numbers here, that's a tough look. It's a tough look for Ray Lane. But again, he could have been told McBride was killing us this game, killing us. So you could be right. I'm sauced, but I'm here. Dude, well, let's go, dude. Let's go. We got a holiday coming up. Let's go. How do you know all these football terms? Did you play in high school? LOL. Good question. I did play in high school, yes. And then I did not play in college. I was actually more of a soccer player. Didn't like that I was a soccer player. I loved football, but my skill set, I was just way better at soccer. I'm not one to toot my own horn. I had more of a natural gifting for soccer than I did football, and I hated it because I loved football. Played soccer. Ended up quitting soccer because I was burnt out, played it my whole life year round. Then I wanted to get into coaching. So I coached football for like 6 years. Realized that coaching football was a life I didn't want to lead, like at a high level, like whether it be like even high level high school or college. You're moving all the time. You're moving from school to school to school to school or to organization, your minor leagues, graduate assistant jobs. It didn't something I didn't love enough to do all that. So then by happenstance, I found athletic administration, which is what I do now, which I love because I get to be in sports, but not just football. I get to be in all sports. So that's where I work now. I work in athletic administration, and it's amazing. But I did have, 6 years of specifically my early years. I was cutting film, and I was like the film guy, which I didn't love. But look what we got now. We got this now. I'm old, so Rob Meyer. Allen's blocking is great with awareness. No, I mean I like LaQuint Allen. I just think he didn't have a good game against the Cardinals. The Cardinals threw some weird blitzes at us that we weren't ready for, and you could tell. I hope Trevor has the same energy to praise. I hope everyone has the same energy to praise Trevor if we make the playoffs and win a playoff game. Excited for next year's draft the way our picks have worked out this year. Well, I mean, Travis Hunter got hurt. You got who was the safety we drafted? He's hurt. Hasn't played at all. Out of Tulane or wherever, the Tulane transfer from Troy. This season we made a very good Caleb Ransall. Sorry. This season we made a very good decision on trading Tank. He had a bad attitude. Telvin Smith was a 5th rounder, if I'm not mistaken. Not a big Telvin Smith fan. On the field, fantastic. Off the field, Google it. That's all I'm going to say. I wouldn't say we traded Tank due to attitude problems. It was more like we believed in ETN and Tank wasn't a scheme fit. If T-Law helps lead us to a Super Bowl this season, I will apologize for any crazy stuff I said about this dude. Same. I hope this for this disgruntled Jags fan when we are 7-4 in a neutral state right now. If Trevor is winning this many games being horrible, I can't wait till he gets his shit together. Who said Tank had a bad attitude? I did. Actually, I never said that, but I don't know. You're looking for a citation? I'm sorry. Apparently, my inside sources are telling me live in the moment, Tank had no attitude. That's what I'm hearing. All right, next play. Should we stay with the offense? Yeah, let's stay with the offense. How about Parker Washington? And this is another good throw by Trevor Lawrence here. Jags are in. So again, this is where it gets kind of tricky because we would call this 10 gun. Again, it gets tricky. This is a tight end. So do you call it 11 gun because there's technically a tight end in the game, or do you call it 10 gun because he's split out as a wide receiver? Do you call it empty motion? Because the running back goes in motion and starts the snap out here. So again, every coach calls it something different. So if you disagree with my terminology, I apologize. I'm just going off of what I was taught. I would have logged this as empty motion. Okay. So empty motion here. Outside release. This is a great throw and great catch by Parker Washington. This was like late game too. This was pretty late in the game. I believe this was the drive that we scored the field goal on in overtime. I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I believe this was the overtime drive. You're going to see an outside release by Parker Washington, which is always good when you have man coverage, which what it looks like he is. I think he drops down into zone, or maybe he doesn't get to the boundary clip fast enough. You're going to get here. Trevor sees the mismatch. Great throw by Trevor, man. Again, for all his 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. For every bad throw, there's a good one. Great catch by Parker. Absolutely fantastic catch by Parker. I have this labeled as Parker Washington catch 3, but I don't see any other Parker Washington catches in my folder. So this goes to show that I don't really know what I'm talking about here. All right, I like this one. I love this play for a lot of reasons. And again, this will be our like Trevor love session. For all you that hate Trevor, just go to the bathroom or something like that. This was a fantastic play by Trevor Lawrence. Fantastic play. And this play I haven't seen anyone talk about, because when you go back and you watch the film, you see things that you don't see. This was a fantastic play by Trevor Lawrence and Jacoby Myers. Okay, so Jacoby Myers is going to make the touchdown catch here. He's going to be lined up here in a 2 wide receiver stack. So we'll call this 11 gun, because I think Brenton Strange would be called a tight end, even though he's a wide tight end. He's technically on line of scrimmage, and he's technically not on line of scrimmage, but he's next to the tackle. You got a twin stack out to the left. You got a tight Tim Patrick out here to the right. You got LaQuint Allen back here in the backfield. What I want to draw your attention to is how poorly the offensive line blocks this pass rush, and we still score a touchdown. Just watch it. Like, bro, like, come on. Even you Trevor haters have to be impressed by this play. Dude's running backwards, jumping backwards, throws a dot to Jacoby Myers. That's the O-line is a porous sponge on this play. Watch this. Bro is levitating like Jesus walking on water with 2 defenders in his face. He didn't step into the throw. My boy's jumping backwards on this throw. Okay. And look at this. Now, that is probably the most impressive throw Trevor had all game. Not a single thing on Twitter about that. Not a single thing on Twitter about this most impressive throw. It might be the most impressive throw I've ever seen Trevor make, if I'm being honest with you. Watch this from the end zone. My boy knows what just happened on this play. Like, legitimately, guys, this was a very, very impressive throw by Trevor Lawrence. And I'm the hardest critic on him of all time. This was super impressive. Dude was about to get destroyed. Jumping backwards, throws the perfect ball to Jacoby Myers. Under smoke blitz. I like that. Someone knows ball. I like that. Was at the game with my dad. It was so stressful, but there was a good amount of Jags fans in Arizona. Hell yeah, Nitro. Let's go. Trevor makes plays, but he gives up the ball too much. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most like, if you were to go to Chat GPT and you were to say, hey, Chat GPT, summarize Trevor Lawrence in 10 words. Probably what they'd say. Mr. Know-It-All, that might be an AI. You might be an AI. Nickel and inside linebacker blitz. I like that. Trevor is at the point where he probably expects 3 guys in his face every drop back. The O-line did not do a great job this game. I will say that in pass protection. Perfect pass. I was excited about Parker when he got drafted in the 6th round. Glad he's making the most of his opportunities. Not to mention he's got you on the edge of your seat every punt return. You mean like this punt return? Like that one? Like that punt return? Because I was on the edge of my seat. I don't know about you guys, but I was jumping up and down. The perfect blocking. No one's blocking in the back. No one's doing anything weird. Ventrell Miller could have been called for something there, but he didn't, so it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're spot on. You are spot on. Can we get a Jacoby Myers apology? I don't think anyone's ever. I mean, maybe I missed it. I don't think anyone's ever down on him. I think people were big on him. I'm no AI coach. I know you're not. I'm just kidding, Mr. Know-It-All. Mr. Know-It-All grinds. Y'all don't even know. Mr. Know-It-All does this. I haven't seen your show in a while. To be fair, I do not mean this in a bad way. There's a lot of Jags YouTube shows now, a lot of content creators, which I absolutely love. I actually encourage everyone to do it. Like it's super fun. Like if you just want a hobby and you don't take yourself too seriously, I think that might be like an important part of it. You can't have a lot of pride because people in the comments will say things that aren't very nice. So if you don't really take yourself too seriously and you don't really care what other people think and you love talking Jags, I would encourage everyone to talk Jags, do a YouTube show, do a podcast. Like there's a bunch of them out there right now. Like it's hard for me to even keep up with everything that's going on. Travis Holmes had some guys on earlier today and they were great talking Jags, and they were rattling off like where like their network and their content creator community. I didn't know what any of it was, but I want everyone to do it. Listen, if I can do this, anyone in this chat or listening or watching after the fact can do it. And I'll take it a step further. If you are serious and you want to do it, DM me like anything you want to do. I'll bring you on the show. I'll tell you what I did that worked and what didn't work. Not that I am like the most successful person ever, but this is Jaguars United. Okay. So I want everyone to come up. Listen, all the boats rise with the tide is all I'm gonna say. So shout out Mr. Know-It-All. I know Mr. Know-It-All was doing a show for a while. I may have missed his last few. We need a Buda Baker kind of player. Yeah, I mean, Devin Lloyd was it for a little bit. Robert Harrington, channel member. Here's our battle with Trevor Lawrence. He has a switch that can turn on that is as good as anybody in the football. Coach has to figure out how to turn that on 70% of the time. I kind of liked what they were doing the last few games where they were kind of taking the ball out of his hands and they were leaning on the run a lot. I feel like Trevor thrived in those situations. He ended up having to throw the ball more times than I think he typically was. I mean, I have the stats. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay, this is just a disaster. Okay, whatever. I think he had 18 completions on like 30 passes. I'm going off memory there. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like the less this team needs Trevor to throw, the better. Jason, I said before the season on your stream that I wanted 11 wins. Looking good so far. That's true. I actually do remember that, Timmy. I actually do remember because it's something weird when Timmy makes comments. I remember. And so there's just certain people that when they talk, I just remember everything that they say. Then there's some people when they talk, it goes in one ear and just goes out the other. I just can't help it. You know who one of those people are that I just can't retain information? It's Travis Holmes from Duval Live. That's one of those people. So
what's going on, bro?
I see that you've changed shirts. Was it because I was a little mean in the comments? Is that what it was?
I mean, they were getting me. Yeah, the chat, the guys were getting me worked up, man. I had to change shirts. I was sweaty.
I was very impressed with your ability tonight. I'm just going to leave it at that. Very impressed with you. I'm always impressed with you, but
it was a fun conversation. But I think I had the stats ready for some of the responses I expected to get from the Trevor Lawrence discourse. So yeah, man.
And I actually talked about that earlier in the show. Someone was talking about how certain content creators will like glaze certain players. But yeah, I talked about how the ones I respect are typically ones that bring in like hard evidence and they bring in like where they have me kind of second guessing myself. So I feel like you always do that as well. It's hard for me even to follow what you're putting on Twitter. I feel like I need to be a statistician to follow what you're talking about, but it always seems like strong supporting evidence. So I got to give you props for that.
I'm always willing to change my opinion if someone can give me evidence. Like I love a lot of the people who like do the work, and I don't mean that as a knock to any individual person. I truly mean like, don't just give me generalized statements. Tell me why you believe what you believe. If you say he's the greatest, tell me why he's the greatest, and not just vibes, not just opinions. If you tell me he's terrible, tell me why he's terrible. Show me video evidence and give me support behind what's happening surrounding him, and not just this quarterback wins conversation. That's how you get Tim Tebow, or these quarterbacks are terrible, but then they have terrible surrounding circumstances. That's how you get all these guys who now later come back looking like different people because, oh, wait, maybe it's the coaches just suck. Like, there's some give and take on all these conversations.
I didn't hear a single thing you said after Tim Tebow because I felt like you were disrespecting him, and I didn't like that. Okay.
Hey, man, you could be a Christ follower and still think the dude's terrible.
Listen, playoff win.
There's some terrible.
Listen,
hey, man, you could be a Christ follower. Enjoy your time in Puerto Rico sniffing babies, man, but just stop playing football.
He's got more playoff wins than Justin Herbert. He's got more playoff wins than a lot of guys that people think are pretty good. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. And he plays tight end. Was he Jameis Winston? We got this guy's out here balling. All right, Travis, I got to show you this play. I already showed it. First of all, why isn't this play? Why is no one on your favorite platform X talking about this play? I would argue this is one of Trevor Lawrence's greatest plays I've ever seen him do.
Okay.
I'm going to let you watch the play, and then you tell me why I'm wrong. Okay. Watch the offensive line and watch the throw.
All right. Look, Quint. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on now. Come on now. Like, that is an
That's trust. That's balls. That's gumption. That's all the phrases you want to put around it, behind it. Like, they have an extra 2 rushers, I believe. I believe it was 8 rushers with 5 blockers. No one really chipping at that point, and you're just make the play. He's trusting his guy. He's throwing it before the break. He's literally throwing it blind. That's pretty dang good. But that's also shows the confidence that he has in the guy who's only been there for like 3 weeks in Jacoby Myers with his 2 reds. That was his second back-to-back series red zone targets. And he makes it work because he trusts that this guy is going to be where he says he's going to be in the play scheme. So I think that's pretty dope, man.
I mean, that I'm just super impressed by that play. I just think like jumping backwards, hit, like you said, the trust is there, putting it right where it needs to be. A couple people in the comments are talking about the Parker Washington touchdown might be Trevor's best of the year. That Patrick Mahomes like. So what do you think? Which throw do you think's better? That one or this one? You're going to see them in ace personnel, a little play action here. A little cross scissor route there.
Nah, this one don't touch the other one for me.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Nah,
great throw though.
It's a good throw, and it's a good job by who was that with the block on the edge? I forget. I missed who it was. I think it was one of the tight ends. It might have been Quentin Morris.
You got Quentin Morris. You got Quentin Morris as your extra tight end, and then you got looks like Johnny Munt as your inline tight end.
Yeah, so I think that's Quentin Morris. Then good job getting that diving last second gasp.
Yeah,
and Trevor, good job stepping up in the pocket. That's great pocket presence. That's not always something that we've seen from Trevor. I would give him credit because I've always said like that's the thing I thought he should work on a little bit better. He felt the pressure. He stepped up, got out of the danger zone, put the ball on the money. It was a great play. I just didn't see it as a great anticipation throw and trusting a guy with pressure coming at him with the fadeaway shot, similar to Jordan Love's play last week also. I think it was a really good play by Trevor, and it's probably the better one of the group, personally.
All right, so Bill Simmons, obviously you know who Bill Simmons is, had a take. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, where he compared Trevor Lawrence to Jameis Winston. Now,
it's the laziest take I've heard. I've heard
and,
it a few
and
times
listen,
now.
to be fair, when you look at a stat line like 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, it could be on the surface a take. I tend to agree with you and with what you're going to say, but it is a take that people have, and it is a narrative that's out there. So, would you rather have Trevor Lawrence than Jameis Winston?
Well, I'd rather have what kind of a crackheadiest question is that? That's of course. Sorry. Yes, I would not have. I would never say it would be better to have Jameis Winston than it is to have Trevor Lawrence. That is a chaotic question. But I understand you have to ask it. I'm not. That's not to you. That's just like, come on, man.
How do you explain?
I just don't think they're comparable because Jameis is an aggressive deep ball thrower, more to the akin of Fitzmagic. Who's more volatile in that way. So he's making his money on just high leverage, high variance throws that are less likely to be completed. Whereas Trevor Lawrence is actually like matriculating and moving the ball down the field as an actual NFL quarterback in the intermediate range. They're not similar in that way, is what I mean.
How do you explain touchdown receptions? Jameis Winston 1, Trevor Lawrence 0. How do you explain that?
I don't generally.
All right, well, this is Travis Holmes. I never want to save this till the end of the show because it's ludicrous and people don't stay till the end of the show. That's the analytics. Listen, I'm like Liam Cohen. I look at the analytics. Listen, people don't stay till the end of the show. So while we're early in the show, Travis Holmes, Duval Dive podcast, Big Cat Country, bringing in anyone that wants to talk onto his podcast. Everything that he does. I mean, he had me on. That's not a slight at his guest today. He had me on. That's what I'm saying. So, Travis, what's new? Like, what are you working on article wise, and what do you got coming up?
I mean, it's because I'm doing the breaking news stuff now. Like, it really is just coming down to whatever they want to talk about. Whatever news is going to break with the injuries, maybe prayers. Fingers crossed they'll have some kind of movement over this week or maybe next week with Eric Murray because he's still on IR. He technically is eligible to come off of it, depending on what's going on with his neck injury. So we'll see there. I mean, obviously they have the Titans game this week, so we'll hopefully knock on wood. There'll be a victory there we can talk about and write up on Big Cat Country or discussing on the Duval Dive podcast. And on Friday morning at 8:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have former Tennessee Titans tight end Ben Troop, friend of the podcast, come on and we can preview this Titans game. Should be interesting. If anybody want to heckle and talk trash to a NFL Tennessee Titan, then yeah, please feel free to do that. Duval, come through, talk to him.
I told Travis before. Growing up, I was a huge Ben Troop fan. He played at the University of Florida. Huge Ben Troop fan. He was on one of those Gators teams that I just fell in love with. Like just absolutely stud tight end. So that's impressive that you're able to get a player of that caliber that's been a repeat guest on your show. The 8:30 a.m. though is where I have the problem because your boy is going to be snoring at 8:30 a.m.
I mean, some people got to work, and if you pretending to work, you can just be in the pod. You know what I mean? You know how this goes in the chat. So
that's fair. Most days I am awake listening to Jaguars content at 8:30 in the morning, but Friday I will be off. I will not be.
Enjoy
but I
your
will
rest,
catch the replay. I will catch the replay for sure. All right, so that play I wanted to show you, the last play about Trevor's throw. This is the only other play that I wanted to show you particularly, and I already showed it, so I forgive everyone that was here, but I have to show Travis this play because this play, again, another play that just like you could tell people in the Jags community don't watch film because this is a play that should have been just all over the timeline. Okay. Last play of the game.
I was about to say, is this the overtime game? And I wasn't even going to talk about this until Friday's podcast. Here we go. Come on.
4th and 5. Okay.
Yep.
You're going to see them it's obviously a too high look because you're going to see where Dewey ends up at the throw. And
you're cover 6.
You're going to see Ray Lane just bite on the Trey McBride dig so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one wide receiver runs a post.
Mills concept. Mm-hmm.
Is this not the most impressive play out of Dewey Wingard that you've probably seen in a long time?
This is the 4th time. This is the 4th time on tape I've seen this play combination against this coverage for the Jaguars. That's my I'll talk about it on Fridays. Duval Dive. Dewey Wingert has seen this place that many times. This is the same play that Monteric Brown made the great pass breakup against I believe it was the Seattle. So they've seen this enough times, and Jacoby Brissett puts the ball on the wrong hash. One, he throws it late. Two, and that helps them out a lot. But honestly, it really just comes down to like a great freaking play by Dewey getting back there, like keeping his eyes on the quarterback. Jacoby Brissett not knowing what they're playing on defense because, again, this is cover 6. You have a cover 2 cloud corner at the bottom. The flats are the places that are susceptible to to giving up the play, basically, for the most part. Like, you have your check down at the top if you want it. You have the check down that's probably getting the first down at the bottom if you want it. He didn't seem to want it, and that's fine. The route isn't necessarily it's a pretty good route with the post route at the top because the corner has outside leverage, and you don't expect the safety to be able to make it across the field if you put it on the upper hash on a line. Jacoby puts air under it. He puts it on the opposite hash and gives Dewey an opportunity to make the play. Dewey, to his right, does make the play and makes contact. Great job all around, but also Jacoby kind of.
What I want to draw your attention to? Look at the footwork from Dewey Wingert. Look at his back pedal, his hip flip, and his turn and run.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
Says, you got to admit, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said that was the touchdown against Seattle, which is technically true, but technically not. So this is a Mills concept, but they ran it to the opposite side of the formation. It was the same coverage. It was still cover, but they ran the post route and the dig route to the cover 4 side. In this situation, they ran it against the cover 4 side. Sorry, if that makes sense. Like that was the cover 4 side at the top of the screen in this situation. Against Seattle, it was actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't even cover 6 against Seattle. It was straight cover 4. So that's what changed the math, basically. So it was at the end of the day, it was the same general like issues with the coverage, but there was no backside safety to help out against the Seattle game. They ran more cover 6. It's like one of their favorite coverages now on the Campanelli for whatever reason. Maybe because they have that backside safety available. But it's worked out for them very well. I guess, again, I looked at every single deep ball attempt against the Jaguars this year to find how many times they've seen it against that coverage, and I only saw the 4 times, and they've stopped every single one.
I agree with you. Like, if that's a skinny post and that's thrown onto the correct hash, I mean, that's I don't know.
A chance to make a play on the ball.
Yeah,
if you would have paused it, if you pull it back up and you pause where is that? I believe that's Christian Broswell is at the time that the ball's gone. Oh, you don't have the rear view.
No.
If you, I have again, we'll talk about it on Friday.
No, you can see it. But no, you can see the leverage. He's got clear outside
leverage, and as the ball is let go, Broswell takes the inside leverage away. So it really will be a play on the ball in the air.
I think if the ball's thrown right there. I think if the ball's thrown right there or like right there, it's a touchdown.
Right. It's a very difficult play for Dewey to make it there. And let's see right now Broswell's in the inside now. Like as soon as the ball was in there, he got to the inside edge of him. Well, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a rough situation.
It's because the ball should be right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reality. All right. I'm going to ask you to do something difficult here, Travis, in a second. And I hate to do this to you, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. All right. You don't need next-gen stats to prove Trevor Lawrence ain't it. Eli Manning is more of a comparison. If Trevor brings us 2 Super Bowls, I'm good with that.
I'm cool with that. That's actually not terrible.
Trevor Lawrence throws interceptions in low-leverage moments. That's pretty astute. Pretty astute.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Jordan Lewis. Any news on Jordan Lewis? What's up with him? I haven't even talked about him. Like, what's the deal with him?
Brother, that was a weirder situation. I thought he was going to be back in week 1. I said it originally that I thought it was a smaller injury, and it never happened. And I don't know if it was a smaller
We're talking about Jordan Lewis, not Caleb Ransall.
I'm talking about Jordan Lewis.
He played week 1.
No, I'm talking about like after his injury. I thought he was going to be back after his injury quickly. I thought it was going to be back the next week because what I believe his injury was was just like, it's going to be something that he'll be back soon. And then all of a sudden he's out, and I'm like, oh man, must have been complications, I guess, or must have been other injuries that were, compounded by his injury, whatever it may be. So he should be back soon. Yes, I thought he'd be back quickly. So I don't really know how long he's going to be out, because again, it's been like 3 weeks now.
Interceptions 30 yards down the field are more productive plays than interceptions at 15 or less. I got these plays queued up. We're not there yet. This is where it's going to be difficult for you, Travis. Not difficult for you, but just somewhere. This is a position I wouldn't want to put you in. Okay, and
Okay.
let me apologize for this straight up. Rise and Grind. This is referring to your show at 8:30 a.m. with Ben Troop on the Duval Dive podcast. What I'm going to ask you to do is for like 60 seconds, talk about what you're going to talk about on that show and what do you expect that conversation to go, so that I can go to the bathroom for a minute and be back. So again, I hate putting you in this position, but I have a lot more clips loaded up and I don't want to sit here and hold it for the whole time. So if you wouldn't mind, just please indulge me. Tell everyone what this show is going to be about, what you plan to talk about with Ben Troop on your show, and that type of thing. Are you ready?
I got you, bro.
Right.
Like,
Ready,
that's
go.
the big thing. Go. But that's the big thing. So obviously, if you haven't already, please go over to the Duval Dive on YouTube or wherever you catch your podcast and click that subscribe button. We just had a great conversation with the guys from over Happy Hour Sports, the Jungle Beat podcast, talking about Trevor Lawrence, talking about the fact that the Jaguar fan base is freaking in a civil war over who he is and who he ain't, at the same time that the team is 7-4, which is chaos to me. Bruh, you're 7-4, about to take back the AFC South Championship. Yeah, your quarterback may have struggled, but it was also one of his worst games of the season. For the most part, it's actually been pretty good. And the second half of this year, the offense has actually been really good. 30 points per game. So if that means that you're going to have an offense where you're scoring more points, but you might be giving up more turnovers, hey man, I'll take it. You might not be me. I understand that, but I'll take that if you're going to give me 30 points per game and some chaos ever so often. It is what it is. Like, I mean, we may not necessarily agree, but yeah. Whatever happens in 2026, 2027, 2028, whatever with Trevor Lawrence is not as important as the Jaguars are 7-4 and winning with 4 game-winning comebacks because of that guy as your quarterback. And I think you guys just need to be okay with that and enjoy the wins, man.
Are you with me? I could hear it. Are you with me or are you against me when I say wins are the only important stat for a quarterback?
Oh, I am definitely against you. But I'm with it in context. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm never a line in the sand guy on most of these situations. I'm always going to be able to find the nuance in the middle ground to kind of have a real conversation. Did bro wash his hands? Of course not. That is a man in his house with no women around. Like, he is not washing his hands.
The better question is do I ever brush my teeth? That's the better question. Like, I mean, what's the
Oh, jeez. Jason, no.
Just kidding. I look at these pearly whites. You know I brush my teeth. Listen, I've always said this.
You got me questioning things.
I've always said this. Zenith and me are like, that's always my argument. We're not gonna harp on that, but I'm just
jeez.
Okay. All right, let's fly through some film here. All right. This one I have labeled as Trevor great throw for the context. Sometimes I don't remember what the play is, and I have to look at my little tag, but I have this as Trevor great throw. Obviously you have 11 gun personnel. You got Munt, you got ETN in here. They're in gun. I mean, this throw, I think he's on the run to his left to Parker Washington or maybe Brenton Strange.
Nice.
I mean, that's a dot. For like all the like we crap on Trevor all the time, but this rolling out to your left, hitting this sideline throw, the comeback deep out.
That's not bad. They're hitting it in the hole, in the honey hole in cover 2, it looks like.
I mean, that is just
knee on the ground, put it in the side. Jeez, that's nice.
Like, I know you had your tweet you brought up in your show earlier, Duval Dive podcast, with your good friends you had on today. You brought up your tweet about leading receivers on the team, it being Parker Washington, obviously. Had Britton Strange stayed healthy every game, do you think it would be Parker Washington, or do you think it'd be Britton Strange?
Without question, it would have been Britton Strange. Like Britton Strange at the time he was injured was 20 catches on 24 targets, and he was leading the team in yardage at that point and receptions at that point. And that's with Brian Thomas Jr. obviously struggling and everything. Because I just feel like Britton Strange is that guy on a game by game basis, and then they got Jacoby kind of to be the second guy, and Parker Washington's the third, but. Overall, I mean, the stats are what they are, but Britton Strange and Jacoby Myers are those two that are like so quarterback friendly that it's going to be very difficult for there to be a third guy if you want a Brian Thomas Jr. on the offense that's kind of stretch the field. So it's Britton, no competition, but now with Jacoby being there to be another guy he can lean on, maybe he might lean on going towards Jacoby a little bit more than Britton. He's farther down the field, more intermediate areas, if that makes sense.
What happened to De'Ami Brown? Is he alive still? Is he still with us?
So what? He on the team? He's playing. I believe I need to look up the stats on special teams. I think he's playing more special teams these days.
Better question: are we going to see a De'Ami Brown resurgence in the playoffs like we did in Washington? Is that when he's going to choose to be the all-star De'Ami Brown that we've all known to love? Is it going to be in the playoffs?
That would be interesting. I won't plan it. I mean, I won't put I wouldn't bet on it, but it's never impossible. I just think it's all about guys that they can trust right now to like make the catches, to be in the right spots. I hate to say this, those coach speak things like do the right thing, but you know what I mean. They've struggled so often at receiver, just guys not doing the right thing, not looking back for the ball at the right time, not being in the right spots. That's something that sounds like it's the most important thing right now, and unfortunately, that just leaves De'Ami Brown on the outskirts.
Whose fault was it on the Tim Patrick? Was it Tim Patrick that didn't turn around for the ball? Was that Tim Patrick's fault? Or was
absolutely Tim Patrick.
It was Tim Patrick's fault.
Again, Trevor wasn't expecting. Tim wasn't expecting the ball. Obviously, Cohen said in this post-game availability, they ran it all week as he's just being I don't want to say decoy, but a clear out. Yeah. And that's exactly what he thought it was going to be. But you also, as an NFL veteran, got to know, look back for the ball. Even as a decoy, and I understand you may not necessarily want to look back for the ball as a decoy because you're thinking, I'm bringing attention to everything else. But you got to know where the ball is on the field if you're running butt naked, wide open. It is what it is.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I just like Tim Patrick. It's hard for me to talk bad about him because he does so many intangible things correctly.
Right. That he never gets credit for. He'll never get adequate credit from the fan base for the things that he does well, and especially in the run game. And when he normally does get those few targets towards him, he normally actually does catch them.
He does.
But something a little bit man said it was a terrible throw too on the Patrick throw, which I thought was weird because it really wasn't. The only guy who could have maybe made a play on the ball was kind of up towards the field. So Trevor was trying to hit Patrick in that hole, kind of like cover two. I don't know if it was cover two or not, but there was a safety basically over that, right in between that. He didn't want to throw it to harm's way, which for a Trevor Lawrence conversation, this is probably important. Not throwing the ball in harm's way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I want to fly through a few comments here, and then I want to get your thoughts on Dennis Gardeck. I'm gonna show a Dennis Gardeck play, and I want to get your overall thoughts on like where he's at. Do you think he's kind of taken over as that like third outside rusher, even though I know that's not his role on the depth chart? But I want to get your thoughts. But before there, a few comments here.
All right.
De'Ami Brown is down on the depth chart because Myers is way better. Also, Parker was moved up.
And I was incorrect. Also, De'Ami Brown only played 4 snaps on Sunday, and none of those were on special teams. So, no, I was incorrect. He's not playing on special teams. He's just not playing.
That's not good for him.
No.
Jack says, got to move the ball. De'Ami does not attack the ball. Like, dude, come back to the ball and go get it. Says Timmy W. It was a terrible throw, too, on the Patrick throw. Travis mentioned that already. Parker is a dog. Don't be a trap game. Timmy says no way. The ball's in the back of his helmet. It was behind him. We got a little conflict
A
here.
chat fight.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll take it. McLeod, who
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, Zenith. Watch your mouth. Calm down.
I had big hopes for him, man. Dude, like I think
He's on IR.
I think he had 15,000 sacks in college. I was expecting him to come in and at least disrupt the quarterback. I know he's been hurt. But
yeah, he's on IR. He had a 19% like pressure rate in college as a pass rusher, and you kind of just think they're going to let him, they're going to let him have that developmental year and figuring everything out, and then maybe next year. But there's always a chance that he could be brought back if they're truly struggling with pass rushers. But he plays the same position as Dennis Gardeck.
I was about to say that. I was like, is he Dennis Gardeck? Is he there like new? Because look, I mean, this is the play I had. I mean, I think I have it from the end zone, which I like better. No, I don't, because I'm stupid. But here we have a Dennis. I mean, one thing I will say, going back and watching the game, because I had apologized for my tweets during the game. I'm usually in a loud environment with friends. I can't hear the broadcast, and I'll rip off some tweets that are just kind of emotional. So I do apologize. But one thing I noticed going back and watching the game is all of the pressures we had this game felt like a complete D-line teamwork type pressures. Like even the sacks, like you look at like was it Gardeck had 1.5 sacks, Devin Lloyd had 1.5 sacks, Josh Allen had a sack. Even all those sacks, you kind of feel like they didn't really earn them. It was like everyone else kind of led to it. And so did you feel that way? Did you feel like the D-line played more completely as a unit? That I just felt like I felt it more this game than I have ever in the past.
I just felt like it was exactly. I hate to not be surprised. I think that's very boring. It's just being real with you. Like I'm saying the words out of my mouth that I hate hearing, and it's just being honest. I expected this to happen. I expected the Jaguars to have success on the defensive line this game because I thought Jacoby Brissett was going to continue doing what he's done throughout much of this season. No different than I expected him to have the same success against the Chargers. I said it on Big Cat Country in 2 weeks in a row, writing articles saying they're going to have a multi-sack game. I'm just standing on business and saying that. It's going to happen again this week with Cam Ward because he likes to hold the ball. Most of his highlight plays, you see, he's holding the ball, he's extending plays, he's trying to make something happen. That breeds sacks, that breeds additional pressures, that breeds opportunity. The Jaguars defense did what it was supposed to do against a quarterback who actually leans into the thing that they struggle against. They struggle against guys who are veteran quarterbacks to get the ball out on time and quickly and maybe under 2.7 seconds, something like that. The Jaguars in this game did the exact same thing. He held the ball around 3 seconds. They got home. They did a great job. That's not to take anything away from those guys. It's just to say this was the matchup that worked well for them. So it worked out.
I agree with that. And like for those of you that don't follow Travis on Twitter, he does a great, I mean, you've been harping on this time to throw thing for a few weeks now. And there's merit to it. I'll give you that. I think I guess
time to throw versus time to pressure.
Right. I think more where I'm coming from is like in the past, you could point to games where specific D linemen were just dominant or just beating their guy consistently. Where I felt like this game, there wasn't really that. It was just like they were collapsing the pocket collectively as a unit.
Fair.
And there was times I looked across the D line and Josh Hines Allen wasn't even in the game. And it was guys like, like Mason Smith and Arik Armstead and Smoot. And it was guys that like just collectively were collapsing the pocket. Do you think that's sustainable, or do you think we need the Josh Hines Allen, Trevon Walker when he's back healthy to get back to their dominant self?
And that's why I always have these conversations about time to throw and time to pressure and everything else, because that's the equalizer, in my opinion. That's why I love numbers and stats and all the data that goes behind it. Because when you ask the question, is it sustainable? How do I know if it's sustainable versus this guy versus that team? They have different offensive line. They have a much better offensive line. Oh, this guy's hurt for the Jaguars this week. There's just so many moving parts there. But what I do know is the Jaguars on average take about this long to get to the quarterback. Cool. I can work with that. This quarterback takes about this long to throw the ball on average, and over the span of a 12-game season, that average is probably going to be pretty on point about what this guy does or what he prefers to do. So from that perspective, I say that's why I look at those numbers. But in this situation, when you're talking about the Arizona Cardinals, they've been they were a struggling offensive line, and then they lost their right tackle the week of the game, who got put on IR. And the Jaguars then smartly, intelligently, Anthony Campanelli had 33 of, I believe, Josh Allen's 49 snaps on the left side against their right tackle. Because, duh, like that's what you're supposed to do.
How did you feel Josh Hines Allen played?
I think he played fine. Yeah, I think he played well. I want to say like dominant, and I'm never that guy because it was fine. And I hate having late pressures, so I'm always a little bit weird about saying that if you have a guy who holds the ball. But I thought he had a solid game.
I was very unimpressed with Josh Hines Allen this game.
Ooh. Unimpressed with Josh Hines Allen with him running 70% of his snaps against a backup right tackle. And you were unimpressed.
Yes, and here's why. Let me just put the icing on the cake. His one sack was a Jacoby Brissett terrible turn out of the pocket into Josh Hines Allen. He didn't beat the tackle for the sack. Let me just put that's the icing. When we get into the layer of the cake, I was very surprised by how few times they even double teamed Josh Hines Allen. They left him one-on-one with that backup tackle almost every snap I noticed. If I'm a Jaguars front office player and I'm paying Josh Hines Allen to be an elite pass rusher, and I don't get a dominant game with no double teams on a backup tackle, I'm concerned. Like, I am legitimately concerned. And in the run game, it wasn't him. It was those interior guys and those linebackers that came in and really stifled the run. So, listen,
Josh hasn't been the double team guy for much of this season outside of like 2 games. As much as people say that often, that he's often being doubled and triple teamed, it actually only happened like 2 games. For the most part, it was 2 of the games that Trevon was out, but for the most part, that's a Trevon stat. He gets double teamed way more often than Josh Hines Allen at this point.
So does that make you concerned about Josh Hines Allen?
I mean, I've always been concerned about Josh Hines Allen, so that doesn't change. It's not a new concern. Let me say it in that way. And that's not to knock him. It's just he's not one of the elite guys. He's good. He's good. And I don't think that's, again, a knock. There's nothing wrong with being good. It's just he's not those top 5, top maybe even 7 guys. He's just a good guy who's going to be able to bend that corner if you have a power guy on the other side. And I think he works well with Trevon in that way. But when you're missing one of those guys like Trevon, then you might have some problems.
Is he worth the contract?
I mean, who's worth if they willing to pay you, then you worth it, I guess. Trevor's worth the contract too. If they willing to give you the money, you worth the contract. That's a weird statement for me. I'm not that. That's a weird. I can't pocket watch, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. It's a great politically correct answer. Let me rephrase the question. Because you just need a specific question so you don't offend anybody. If you are a Jaguars GM, are you looking to get out of his contract as soon as you can? Let me ask you that question.
I don't know about as soon as you can. I think that's still but yeah, I mean, I think if I could find a way to restructure that and make that more palatable, I think that would be very good for the Jacksonville Jaguars, sure.
Okay. That it took me 8 questions to get to the answer, but I'm glad that we finally got there. Trent.
I tried to talk around it, and you tried to, you made sure to try to rephrase the question, Mr. Attorney, to get me there. I got you.
I got you. All right, couple comments here, and then we're gonna show this Dennis Gardick sack. Okay, I promise you. Tapa says, "Speak the truth." Thank you. That's all I do. I feel like it's all I do. Josh Hines Allen's been very disappointing. I think that's fair. That's fair to say. Like, I think you could even agree with that.
I mean, sure, but I don't understand what the expectation was. Maybe that's where I differ on with the rest of the fan base. I don't
TJ Watt. That's the expectation.
And then, if that was your expectation, you were always going to fail.
What about Aiden Hutchinson?
Folks looked at that 17.5 sack season, and I told them that was never happening again. I said it then. That was never going to happen.
You're right.
You would be happy to get 8 sacks, and that's what it's going to be.
watch a montage of that 17 and a half sack season, and you will be very surprised.
You
At
know
how
I
that went.
have. You
Yeah.
know I have.
Yeah.
I've had this argument with a lot of people.
Yeah. Trevon gets most of the double teams. How dare you, Jason? Exactly. Trevor carried. The Josh Hines Allen defenders are squirming right now. I don't think I know of any like Josh Hines Allen.
I don't think I've ever met. Yeah, I don't think there's many out there like that.
In fact, like people that actually know him are the opposite. We're not getting into that, but we'll say that. Good point. Dude got cooked by a rookie tackle. Can't defend him anymore. 17 and a half sacks was an outlier. Not who he really is. Contract year was when he went off. That's a good point. Devin Lloyd. Contract year is a real thing. I'd give Allen and more to get Crosby 10 times better than Allen. That was
argue with that though.
Balky's dumb move. Trade him straight up for Max Crosby.
That was Balky's dumb move. Like he only had one.
That's a good point. That was a weird response to the Josh Hines Allen contract question. So everyone deserves a contract.
I think he deserves to be on the team. That's where I'm at. Like I think he deserves to be on the team. I think he's also a really good leader in the locker room, and I think he's good enough where you'd want him to be on the team without making another hole. This is not like a Tyson Campbell situation where you need this guy off the roster because it's not going to work out, and he's literally circled on other teams' whiteboards. Like,
is he though?
When you think Josh Hines Allen's circled on the other teams' whiteboards? Nah, I don't think it's that. Tyson Campbell was barbecue chicken. Like that was done. That was a big difference. I'm not creating a hole. I'm going to bring somebody in to develop behind him, sure. And when I have a natural out in that contract, I'll get off of it or I'll restructure it. Sure. That's all reasonable and fine. But I'm not making the hole when I think he's good. I don't think he's great. I think he's good. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
I think the elephant is in the room is Trevon Walker and Danny Stigro as your ends probably produces the same, if not more, sacks than Trevon Walker and Josh Hines Allen. I think that's the elephant in the room.
Yeah, you're doing too much. No, I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet.
Okay.
That's way too much. That's way too spicy for my blood.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of people that come off the edge, let's get to this clip here. Jacoby just extended the play.
Nice game.
This is game. Oh, this is the play. This is strange to me because there's a number of plays, and maybe you could shed more light on to this, but it seemed like the game plan for a lot of the Jaguars defensive linemen or rushers was to, if you're not going to get home, to try to bat the ball down, even though they didn't do it. But you're going to see Gardick here kind of pause. And we saw this a couple more times. We're gonna have time to get to like my bad folder, but like a lot of times when like the Jags D lineman just like paused at the line of scrimmage to try to bat the ball down and didn't do it. But here you kind of almost see Gardick do that and then realize that he might be able to get to him.
You missed the Chargers. You missed the Chargers game. They did the same thing against the Chargers. It was the same thing against Herbert. They would do that. They would run up to the line of scrimmage and just wait to see what the offensive line declares. Like once they declare who they're blocking, they've been using Gardick in that way for 2 weeks now. So it was something I noted last week, and I was like, oh, that's smart. So you wait till the offensive line declares, and then you run your games based on that. So you're not getting outflanked by this guy who you know is going to try to run the ball. It was pretty smart from Campanelli.
I like that in the sense of if you've been seeing your defense get beat by like the screen game. But what's the drawbacks to that? Like where can the offense expose you when you do that? Like maybe in like the quick run game or the quick mid.
Yes, I was just gonna say because now you're being passive and reading what they're doing. Yeah, so in that way, yes, you're going to. If you get blocked with someone aggressively coming out, like the screen game, like the draw game towards that side, then you have guys out of position who are not able to then kind of fill the run lanes, up in the rush lanes, sure. But overall, I don't think it's a huge risk because Gardick, the position he still plays, is that was Sam Backer. So he's sort of a rusher. We've always known he was going to be that fourth rusher or fifth rusher as an option, but he can still play his flats from that area, so it's not a big deal. For the most part, like it's not going to be a big deal. Most coverages you really want to play because they're going to give up the flats anyways.
I noticed he's in a weird role because he's not playing a role that anyone on the roster last year played. I think that's where kind of Jags fans get a little tripped up. He's kind of playing a role that we haven't had in a while, of that guy, like you said, that can rush from the edge, and even we just saw there can kind of stunt into the A and B gaps, but also is effective in the short passing game.
Yeah. But that was what they brought. Like, as soon as I saw the depth chart and I saw Dennis Gardeck, Yasir Abdullah, Jalen McLeod, I'm like, all right, that's a pass rusher. I don't know enough. At the time, I even said it. I'm like, I don't know enough about Gardeck because all I knew was it was a special teams guy who had got hurt the previous season and was coming off an injury. All right, cool. But that was all I knew. But I'm like, if you got Yasir Abdullah behind him and Jalen McLeod, and I know about Jalen McLeod, again, 19% pressure rate in college, they're going to have that dude rushing the passer. They need a guy who was versatile and able to be a stat linebacker, but also be a pass rusher. Cool. So I assume Gardeck was going to have that ability, and they eventually were going to use it. We finally made it to that part of the season. I think it's pretty dope to watch him kind of flourish.
I agree. I think he's actually been a really good player for us. I think he's been very effective. This is like just, we got to give Josh Hines Allen credit because we were talking a little down on him, or maybe I was, but he does get a sack here. But what's interesting is this is like a really strange roster out here. I mean, you got Danny Stigro, you got Mason Smith, you got Jarian Jones in the slot. You got, what is this, Braswell out here?
Braswell.
Yeah, I mean, Dewey, Antonio Johnson, Devin Lloyd. I mean, this is a strange 12 or 11. I'm sorry. Strange 11.
Why is it strange? Who's the strange one? I don't even see who's strange yet.
I mean, if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that Danny Stigro, Mason Smith, Monteric Brown, Christian Braswell, and Antonio Johnson.
All right. Yeah. I mean, they got injuries, but I mean, I guess some of these makes sense.
Yeah. But I got to give Josh Hines Allen credit. They're in empty, so this is the easiest time to get a sack for what it's worth.
Is that Mason in middle and dropping back in the middle? Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. You got big D-Ham pressing from the one tech.
Yeah, that's Mason playing middle linebacker. Go ahead. Get your depth, man. Go ahead. I see you.
They'll never see it coming.
Yep. Getting depth in this drop. Head on the swivel. Let's go.
Hey, all those people was like, where's Mason Smith? Doug Peterson, the reason why he was a healthy scratch is you didn't have him as the middle linebacker. That's your problem. But Josh Hines Allen.
First thing I saw, I'm like, oh, I see Mason Smith 10 yards down the field. All right, let's go. This podcast just got fun.
Jacoby Brissett, for some reason, decides to step into the pocket here instead of here. But whatever, that's not our conversation. You know what? We'll give Josh Hines Allen that one. We'll let him do his dance. Great job. I'm glad we're paying you $150 million. I appreciate your contribution, Josh Hines Allen. You're really making a difference in our defense there. I do appreciate that.
You such a hater, bro.
T-Mac had some crispy drops last night. Well, there you go. Mason Smith, laughing my ass off. But T-Mac looked good, though, like on Madden. Smith is kind of a disappointment. Hopefully catches on.
Yeah, he had some pressures, but he couldn't bring him home, man. He just couldn't close the gap, and his run stopping also needed work, but that's not so different than Eric Armstead. He's just balling out of control in the actual stats department, though. So,
on our thread of the entire D line collapsing the pocket, here's another example here. You got the Jags. It looks like Josh Hines Allen. Looks like our boy Danny Stigro. From that 9-tech Danny Stigro we all had on our bingo card. Looks like Armstead and Mason Smith. It's the entire D line collapses the pocket. I mean, this is just a good play by the entire D line.
Nice blitz.
They also brought 6. I didn't remember They also brought 6
Oh,
guys.
I'm like, oh, nice blitz. All right, cool.
Yeah.
2 free rushers.
And it was it looks like
Antonio Johnson
yeah.
on the
Makes a
sack.
Yeah. Look at him. No, don't mind me. Just playing a box safety. Don't mind me. I think Armstead gets a good push here too. Yeah, change the protection, Brissett. That'll help.
Did he block? Did the running back block anybody? He changed the protection, but he didn't block nobody. But that's what I was saying earlier. Is Brissett doesn't want to take the easy check down there. Like he just throw it to the running back. You're good. You're good. Running back don't even check. It's just like, all right, or chip.
I mean, this is one of those situations where I always talk about offensive coordinators versus defensive coordinators. Sometimes comes down to rock, paper, scissors. People hate hearing that, but it's like my play call, just beat your play call. And this is a situation where Campanelli brought pressure from the right. Brissett's probably second play in his headset was the one he checked to, where he released the running back to the left. It just didn't work out. And this is one of those situations where, because I mean, he had McBride over here. He had two tight wide receivers out here to the right.
Yeah.
I mean, Monteric and Jarian are playing a little pattern match, palms coverage.
Yeah, but man, you know how this is, man. Like if there's a blitz, you throw it into the blitz normally. Like that's generally like the running back. If you just flip the running back to that side, either he busted his protection that you expected him, like you moved him over there to pick up the first color. I'm assuming that would have been Antonio Johnson, or to give him the dump off. But you did neither of those things, so I just thought that was weird.
And this is one of those times when the zone blitz, where Hines Allen drops to this little like curl flat area, worked out perfectly. This is what I'm saying. The rock, paper, scissors. Josh Hines Allen's going to drop to the curl. He doesn't go to the flat, but he drops to the curl zone, curl hook, and it just works out perfectly.
Yeah, and I'm just saying the check down to the running back is right there, screaming at you.
He's not going to be able to see that with the pressure coming to his left.
You literally moved him to the left, knowing that the pressure was coming from that way.
Yeah, you're right. He could have dropped that off there.
You're hot. If not him, it's not McBride. Who was that? The slot. Yeah. Right there. That was your hots right there.
I mean, he saw this. He saw a wall of white, and he was like, "Get me out of here." Yeah, no bueno. Trash Hines Allen. He's not trash. He's not.
Jags fans, y'all miserable right now, man. Y'all don't like nobody, especially associated with Balky.
Being trash and being not worth your contract are two different things. He's not.
Do Jaguar fans like anybody that Balky brought in? Anybody? Is there anybody who's just like, all right, I like him. Now I'm okay with him, but I like him.
Cam Little.
All right. That's pretty good. It's pretty hard not to like Cam. He's setting NFL records.
Logan Cook.
But they turned on Cam quickly too. Let's be real. They were talking about bringing in kickers in the bye week to try out, and I'm like, Lord, it's just 2 weeks. 2 weeks of the dude struggling, and that's it.
All right, we're gonna go 5 more comments, and then we're getting out of here. All right, so make it a good one. I'm not gonna proofread it, but I hope it's a good one. Is Buster getting extended, or are we letting a whole lot of these contracts expire?
That's the real tough one. That is so tough. Is Buster getting extended with Travis Hunter in the fold, but Greg Newsome not? Yeah, actually, that might happen. I can see that.
Bradwell's emerged.
Yeah, maybe we'll see what happens with the end of the season. Like that's a coin flip, and I don't know who Campanelli wants to be. That's the reason. That's the only reason I say this is hard. It's maybe harder for me than I think it might be for some fans. Most fans will probably say yes, Brown is going to get extended because he's not going to get some crazy contract, and I think that might be reasonable. I just don't know what they want to be versus what they've been forced to be on defense. Because you know what I mean.
Here's the problem with your logic. Campanelli will be a head coach next year. So it won't matter what Campanelli
Calm
wants
down.
because
Calm down.
we'll have a new DC next year. That I can guarantee.
I think he's going to have another year to cook. Personally, that's just me. I think he's going to have another year in Jacksonville to cook, and if he has a year even close to what we've been looking at right now, it's going to be hard to keep him in the fold.
100%. I bet we try to get Buster Brown back on a smaller contract and have a really solid depth piece.
Well, I mean, that's basically where I'm landing. Yeah, we'll see what happens though.
Parker Washington, are both their contracts coming up? P. Washington Strange?
Strange? Is his contract coming up? If it is, I did not know that. So I'm not going to pretend that is or isn't the case. I got to figure that one out.
I think he was the draft after Urban Meyer, right?
Yeah, his 4-year contract was 2023. So yeah, that's 2027 for Britton Strange.
So we got one more year.
Yeah, so he's good. I don't know.
You're right. You're right. This is his second year. This is his third year.
Yeah. 2 years behind Evan Ingram. This is his first year truly starting. He has at least another year. And the same thing for Parker Washington. So
they're in the same draft, right?
They are eligible to be extended next year, sure, but you don't have to extend next year. You have another year to kind of figure out what you want to do. Make them earn it. You know how these guys love contract years.
Speaking of contract years, is Devin coming back next year?
It's hard to say no. Honestly, it's so hard to say no. I mean, that dude was this close to having the pick six even this past week, and he would have absolutely been the player of the week with 5 quarterback hits, a sack and a half, and a pick six. Like, yo, Devin's playing like a man on fire.
Do you worry about that contract year narrative, though? Do you worry about that? Yeah.
Absolutely. But you can't scared money don't make money. Like, I don't know. Like,
that's a good point.
That's hard, bro. But it's a linebacker, so at least it's not like something that's going to destroy the bank to make happen. But it's his first year in his defense, and he's balling out of control. Contract year or not.
Last one. Padawan Price says, went to the game Sunday. Boy, that was stressful. But Duval chants were roaring. Listen, that's what it's all about. We're 7-4.
Yes, sir.
We're 7-4. Like we're fine. We're completely fine. We're doing good. I'm optimistic. Is our quarterback Jacqueline Hyde?
Since when have you ever been optimistic? What happened to you?
Listen, I am the most sunshine and rainbows guy out there. Okay. Do I live with my emotions on my sleeve? Yes. But doesn't mean that I'm not always overly positive. I didn't even get into my bad folder tonight. We stayed all in the good folder. So that's how you know.
Wow.
That's how you know.
You really are.
Exactly.
You are embracing the 7-4. I like this.
Listen, I've been a fan of teams that have won 1 game, 2 games. I'll take 7-4. Okay. I will take 7-4 and I will like it. I will like it. Travis, what do you got coming up? I appreciate you coming on tonight. I know you already said it, but to anyone that's still randomly here, there's no chance. But if there's a chance, I want you to be able to just, what do you have coming up? I know you said you're doing the breaking news type stuff, but you're doing I feel like you're on a podcast every night. So, like, where can they find you?
I mean, I was on Hacker After Dark tonight on 1010XL. We had a quick 15 minutes just to recap the game. So feel free to check that out on the 1010XL, YouTube on demand, but also Big Cat Country, obviously all the breaking news items. So definitely lock it in on the Big Cat Country site. Yes, I'm always doing podcasts anywhere, but for the most part, it's going to be the Duval Dive unless someone else is going to have me on like you do now. And yeah, we'll have Ben Troop on Friday morning for anyone who missed it. Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. If you want to hop into the comments, you'll get to talk to Ben Troop, or we call him Cam Little Light. It's a Cam Newton Light. Former NFL tight end for the Tennessee Titans, because we love to talk trash to him, especially when it's Titans week, because we don't like the Titans, but we love Ben Troop. So it's going to be a great conversation previewing the Titans game. And that, again, will be 8:30 in the morning for those of you who wants to pretend to work at that time. Maybe, lock it in there. And yeah, for the most part, that's what we got going on, man. We'll have the post-game recap after the Sunday, hopeful, fingers crossed, victory for the Jaguars, and I'll give you guys my my prediction. Hopefully, that is a multi-score Jaguars victory. Maybe it might be a close game. Did you have? Wait. You haven't given your prediction. Are you going to have a late pod this week to give a prediction for the TC?
I mean, I'm gonna be on tomorrow with Jordan and Dalton.
All right,
And,
all right.
That's usually when we talk about it, but I'm not one that like holds my opinions close to my chest. I think we're gonna beat the Titans pretty easily. I really do. And I just
10 plus. 10 plus.
I would never say 10 plus as a Jaguar fan ever. Ever. But I think it'll be comfortable. It'll be one of those games like we saw with the Panthers. One of those games that we've seen recently where the Jags are kind of in control of the game the whole time. Does it get a little uncomfortable at moments? Yes, it could. Like it did with the Chargers. Like everyone's it didn't get uncomfortable, but it's like, oh, the Jags are going to blow this game. I think we'll maybe have those feelings, but I think it'll be a Chargers-like game. And I think it'll be a runaway. I'm not going to bet it because I don't bet Jaguars lines or spreads. I bet their player props because I always take the over on Strange and Parker Washington, and it always hits. So that's what you need to know right there. But I will definitely be on tomorrow night. I'm gonna try to do a show Friday night, and I'm gonna try to get up and watch the Duval Dive with Travis on Friday morning. I'm gonna say there's a 57% chance, which is about the same as Trevor Lawrence's completion percentage. So we're right there with like how we feel. Those are your odds. Just so
I like my odds. That works.
Listen, I always say this: Travis is the best in the business. It's only a matter of time before I'm begging Travis to let me talk with him. It'll be here sooner than y'all think because Travis crushes it. So make sure to follow everything that he does. It's fantastic. Travis, thank you for coming on. I love watching film with you. It's probably my favorite thing to do as a content creator, just so you know. So
I appreciate you having me on because it's my main avenue to watch film. We can break it down on the Duval Dive, and we do, to be real. We have, but you do it way longer. We watch like 5 or 6 clips overall, and that's it. And then we're talking about the news and all the other.
Well, you got to be careful because if you do too much, they'll demonetize your show. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. I don't care about
you care about stuff like that. Like
I don't care about the money. So I'll show every clip on this show is going to be demonetized. I don't care. So I would advise you not.
In the words of Mike Tomlin, I do not care. It is fine.
I love it.
So I'm just like you.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Travis. Thank you to everyone who's in the chat. You guys are awesome. I love all you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow night on Club Jaguar and hopefully later this week. Travis, thank you. See you guys very soon. Until then, as always, go Jags.